Hi friends, this is CM Sharma, and in this video I'll tell you that how to declare, initialize and allocate memory for the arrays. So what is an array? Array is a derived data type. So there are three types of data types in C: primitive, user defined and derived. So you can create derived data types out of either primitive or from user-defined data types. If you try to define an array, array is the collection of similar type of values such as integer and floating point numbers. So how to declare an array? So the syntax for array declaration is that first you need to specify the type, which will be the data type, and then the array name. Suppose you want to create an array to hold 5 integer values, then you can do it int a5. So here integer is just telling that a is a data type which can hold 5 integer values, and if we talk about the memory allocation for this particular data type, then it can hold 5 integer values, so there will be 5 boxes, and the index of array always starts from 0 and it will go 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if the size is 5, then it will go up to 1 less than the size, and it is the maximum index of an array. So these locations can hold 5 integer values, and certainly these locations will have some addresses. Suppose if you assume that it is address 100, then if the integer is occupying 2 bytes on a platform, the next address will be 102, it will be 104, 106, and it will be 108. So arrays always occupy contiguous spaces. So these spaces have to be adjacent. That's why these are called contiguous spaces. And if we talk about the second declaration, then it is being used here to accommodate 3 floating point values. So the index will begin with 0 and it will go up to 2, and if the address of this location is 100, and assuming that float occupies 4 bytes, then the next location will be 104 and it will be 108. So this is the way the arrays occupy a space in the memory. And the arrays can have 2 types of initializations. Assigning values to the arrays called initialization of array. An array can be initialized in 2 ways. Either they can have a static initialization or they can have dynamic initialization. So this is how a static initialization is done. So here 3 ways of a static initialization are shown. So the first one is that you are creating an array to hold 5 values. So index will always start from 0 and it will go up to 4, and these values are assigned to these locations. The values are 3, 2, 4, 5 and 6. So this is the way the first declaration and first initialization is taking place. The second one is that you can skip the size here. So there are 5 values. It will automatically calculate the size of this array, and it will have the same representation as done earlier. It will have indexing from 0 to 4, and the values will be assigned likewise 3, 2, 4, 5 and 6. So 4, 5 and 6. So if you talk about the third initialization, so here the array will allocate memory for 5 integers, but you are just providing values to the first 3 integer, first 3 locations of the array. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it will just allocate values to the first 3 locations, 3 to 4, and it will not initialize these locations. So this is the way how static initialization work. And you can also provide the values to the array locations or array at the runtime. So that is called dynamic initialization of the array. So here I've just declared an array with name A, and it can hold 5 different values. So here you can see that I'm using a loop and using here is scanf function. So whatever values the user of this program provides at runtime, those will be assigned to these locations. So it is the dynamic initialization of the array. Suppose user provides values 7, 4, 9, 2, 1, then these values will go at these locations, and that too at the runtime. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet.